The Mokka came onto the scene back in 2012 and it sits alongside a long list of other small SUV crossover thingies like the EcoSport, there's the Juke, there's the Capture, there's the Tivoli, there's the CX-3, there's the CHR, there's the HRV, and the rest. Now, since its launch, it's been raking in sales, frequently appearing in the top 10 sellers list in the UK, but Vauxhall still wanted to give it a bit of a refresh, so it's given it a facelift for 2017 with a new front end, a new rear end, a new interior, and a new name, as it's now called the Mokka X, that X being part of Vauxhall's new SUV naming strategy. And the Mokka is still very much an SUV at heart. I mean, there's a good range of engines, including a new 1.4 litre turbo. It's got slick SUV styling, and you can still pick from 2- and 4-wheel drive. So let's jump in and take a look. The biggest changes to the Mokka X are here in the cabin. I mean, it's unrecognisable from the last model as it draws on the blueprints of the new Astra, which is very good news. I mean, gone are the horrible cluster of buttons and dials, and in place of this much cleaner, much more upmarket layout. There's also a few new tech additions like the latest IntelliLink infotainment system, which facilitates the likes of Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and you also get Vauxhall's new OnStar system, which has Wi-Fi and a 24-hour advice service. Practicality in the cabin is good as well. You've got these 2 cup holders here, you've got this nice fold-down armrest, which is good for motorway driving, you've got these double door pockets here, and you've got plenty of headroom. And the fact that some of the features in a Mokka are quite clunky, I don't know. I think it's quite reassuring in an SUV. Rear passenger space in the Mokka is good all round, really. There's plenty of headroom, there's plenty of legroom, and there's a nice little space for you to slide your feet in front of this seat in front, which I particularly like. Now, one thing worth mentioning, because I know it's a bit of a pet peeve for some, is that these seats have the old flip forward mechanism, which basically means, well, it's a bit fiddly when it comes to folding them down. Right, the bright side of this though is that you get a nice flat loading surface. Now we come around to the boot and there's 356 litres of space with the seats up and 1,371 litres with the seats down. And if you don't go for a full-size spare, there's actually enough underfloor storage to store a body. Well, a small body anyway. Although the Mokka is a different creature in the cabin, its character on the road remains unchanged, which is to say it's still a bit underwhelming to drive. I mean, crossovers have noticeably come on since the baby SUV boom of 2010, but the Mokka just still feels like it needs to grow up a bit. The steering, for example, is easy to manoeuvre around town. It's accurate enough to inspire confident driving, but there's just not much in the way of feedback, which doesn't really encourage spirited cornering. The ride's a bit like that as well. It's fine at lower speeds on smooth roads, but well, on the majority of other bumpy British roads, well, you kind of just get the worst of both worlds. It bounces like it's supposed to be comfortable, but jolts over bumps like it's firm. Refinement from the likes of wind and road noise is an issue as well, but hey, the Mokka's not alone here. A lot of other crossovers and mini SUVs have these same issues. Thankfully though, Vauxhall's gotten rid of the old 1.7 litre diesel in place of a few 1.6 litre whisper diesel units, one of which is this 108 brake horsepower variant we've got, mated to a 6-speed manual. Now, this 1.6 litre diesel is better than the old 1.7 litre diesel. However, it's still quite loud, and its peak pulling power, which at 300 newton meters is pretty impressive, just comes all at once at around the 2000 RPM mark. Kind of like turning a tap on and off. The gear ratios are really short as well. I mean, when pulling out of a junction in town like this, you'll probably find yourself switching to second. Efficiency-wise, this 1.6 litre diesel claims an average of around 70 miles per gallon, but we've been getting between 40 to mid-50s. Although its small size pits it against the likes of the Renault Capture and the Nissan Juke, both of which start from under 15 grand, the Mokka X is priced closer to those models' bigger brothers, the Kadjar and the Qashqai, at £17,500. Standard kit is impressive though, but you might want to see what kit you think you'll desperately need before you take the plunge. But although it's had a facelift of which the interior is much better for it, the Mokka still feels like it belongs to that first wave of crossovers, of which neither of them were particularly exciting to drive. It is still fairly practical though, and it definitely ticks that whole small city-dwelling SUV box, so there's no reason it can't continue to sell well. But would you go for a Mokka X? Let us know in the comments section below, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Click on the inquire button to find out more details about this car, or for any other models, visit carkeys.co.uk. And to watch more reviews, click one of the links on screen now.